I'll recognize myself for 5 minutes. Administrator Boss, the Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant Program is just over 2 years old, 2 years. For fiscal year 2022, FRA issued a notice of funding opportunity for this program, but failed to do so in 2023. Given the importance of this program for railroad safety, why did the FRA fail to release a notice of funding opportunity for FY23?
Mr. Chairman, thank you for that question. Implementing the bipartisan infrastructure law was a huge undertaking at FRA. We needed to have the resources in place to have a robust program. So that's one reason, but we look forward to the next round going out as soon as possible.
Do you anticipate a time?
We are going to have a calendar in the very near future in January of all of our grant programs for this year. So you will see that very soon.
All right. One of today's hearings purposes is to discuss ways in which the federal government can better support grade crossing elimination and safety efforts. Can you explain how FRA has worked to make sure that the money is easily accessible?
Yes, sir. FRA has an Office of Regional Outreach and Project Delivery. We make sure that we go out into communities, into states, to make sure that they know that this funding is available. We know some smaller communities, smaller entities may have problems or may not have the technical expertise to apply. So we try to make sure they know what to do and provide them the resources to do so. And again, we just try to get the word out and also encourage them to work with the host railroads.
In your testimony, it says Texas, and I think we lead the way in many things, but we also lead the way as it relates to the number of block crossings. I think about 6,500 of them, about 21% of all the reported block crossings took place in Texas. What are we doing wrong? I think, Mr. Jeffries, you brought it up. What are we doing wrong here in the great state of Texas?
Well, Mr. Chairman, it's going to take a collective effort to improve on that in Texas. It involves FRA, it involves the railroads, it involves the communities, law enforcement, and others, first responders. In Texas, we try to take a can-do attitude and started in Houston, really rolling up our sleeves and tackling the situation there. We are also focusing on Texas in terms of auditing grade crossings there. So we have a whole program in places like Texas, also Washington State, and other places. So we will definitely do more.
The entire panel, what recommendations do you have for us to better improve the grade crossing elimination grant program, Ms. Hamady?
Well, one thing I would say, the program itself, funding is key. I think we have to remember that states are in need of funding, but also we can't forget the need to communicate with local communities. Mm-hmm. In Mendon, Missouri, 138 people is the population of Mendon, Missouri. When we arrived on scene, I went to find Farmer Mike, who was all over social media talking about the dangers of this crossing. This crossing was not identified as a high-risk crossing because there weren't incidents at it before. But it was well known by all the farmers of a dangerous crossing. Mm-hmm. I think we have to remember how important communication is.
I agree.
Because a lot of times they're not heard. They need to be heard. Yeah. Also, at some point, I'd love to talk about the years-long process and red tape that states and local communities experience when it comes to fixing some of these crossings.
Mr. Jeffries, is $600 million enough?
I think when it comes to grade separations, no amount of money is going to be enough.
Yeah.
The challenge is enormous. We're grateful and we're advocates for the program. I associate myself with the administrator's comments. I think making sure communities are aware of the opportunities out there and vice versa, and getting that money put to work quickly.
Yeah.
Put it to work quickly. Yeah. It takes years, upwards of 10 years for reviews before dollars go to the ground.
Thank you. Ms. Hamady, I got a question about FAA. The FAA reauthorization expires here on March 8th. We did a good job in the House. It's over in the Senate. They're squabbling over there, this and that. We extended it to March 8th. How do you feel about that? And there shouldn't be any more extensions. Would you agree with me on that?
No extensions. There should not be any more extensions on FAA. They need long-term, robust funding, your support. We need an FAA reauthorization bill, which, by the way, your bill also reauthorizes the NTSB, so thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.